Good day, Australia! Are you drowning in sky-high rents or a mortgage that's choking your budget? You're not alone. Over 1.4 million Aussie households are on the brink of mortgage stress, with numbers climbing every week. I'm your name, your trusted finance mate, here to uncover the 10 hidden reasons why millions of Australians could lose their homes, from crippling rate hikes to broken policies that are hitting closer to home than you might think. This crisis is real, and understanding it is your first step to fighting back. Let's dive in. First, interest rates have skyrocketed from lows of 2% to near 6%, tacking on an extra $1,200 a month for a $600,000 mortgage, wiping out grocery budgets, school fees, and family outings as the Reserve Bank's 3.85% cash rate pushes families toward foreclosure, with many trapped by falling home values or tighter lending rules. Second, wage growth limps along at 2 to 3% a year, while housing prices have surged over 20%. In some cities, and rents in Brisbane and Perth have spiked 30% in 2 years, forcing middle-class Aussie teachers, nurses to spend over 40% of their income on housing, leaving nothing for emergencies and crushing the dream of homeownership. Third, renters are in a nightmare, with vacancy rates below 1% in some suburbs, 20-plus applicants battling for a single home, and 30% rent hikes in cities like Adelaide and Perth, while platforms like Airbnb gobble up long-term rentals, pushing families and professionals into far-off suburbs or even crisis accommodation. Fourth, Australia's short 200,000 homes, with population growth and migration outpacing supply due to zoning restrictions, lengthy approvals, and soaring construction costs, leaving new homes far from jobs, schools, or transport, and social housing stagnant despite rising demand. Fifth, wealthy foreign buyers and local speculators snap up properties, often leaving them empty as investments with tax breaks. Like negative gearing fueling this game for the rich, while first home buyers struggle in a market-turned stock market, especially in Sydney and Melbourne's silent towers. If this is hitting you hard, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment. Tell me which reason shocks you most. Let's keep this conversation alive. Sixth, climate risks are making homes uninsurable, with premiums spiking 300% in flood and fire-prone areas, costing $10,000 a year or more, or coverage denied entirely, stranding families in homes they can't sell or protect as banks refuse mortgages, crashing property values. Seventh, government policies are failing. Us first homebuyer grants inflate prices without boosting supply. Negative, gearing benefits investors over families and social housing. Among the lowest in the developed world is neglected, with federal, state, and local governments stuck in a cycle of short-term fixes and bureaucratic delays. Eighth, migration is a national strength, but poor planning turns it into pressure, with 500 arrivals in 2023, equivalent to a city the size of Cambridge. Housing driving up prices and straining schools and transport without enough new homes to match. Ninth, mortgage stress, where 1 in 3 households spends over 30% of income on repayments, affects 1.45 million Aussies, who are draining savings, maxing out credit, and facing rising defaults, with the emotional toll, shame, stress, anxiety tearing families apart as the Aussie dream crumbles. 10th, decades of short-sighted urban planning have left us with high-rises without schools, suburbs without jobs, and no national housing strategy, just a mess of zoning laws and delayed approvals, building disconnected communities and setting up future failures. This isn't just a housing crisis, a national unraveling of stability and hope. Housing should be a right, not a privilege for the wealthy. As your finance guide, I'm urging you to act. Share this video, talk to your mates, demand better from our leaders, and if you're struggling, know you're not alone. Subscribe for more tips to navigate this chaos, and let's push for a fairer Australia together. Stay savvy.